I see, still I have things I act or I see my luck. And I judge it a lot. And when people say you are giving and you are doing so many things, I feel sometimes they are talking about somebody else. And I wanted to ask you if you can talk about transforming the inner luck. I feel if I give material things, I will not have. It's like they are going to take away my own.
You know, the thing you have to start seeing is how unimportant all these things are. You have to exercise the muscle of giving, but without violence. You know, you're obliging yourself. And it doesn't matter what you do. It's not enough. But you haven't got to the point yet where giving brings you more joy than having. And this is what you have to find. You have so much joy in giving. You're giving to yourself because it fills you up with so much love. It should be natural. It doesn't have to be something outrageous. But in the moment it happens, it should just come spontaneously from your heart. But you're forcing yourself. Because you have a judgment that you don't give enough. But you have to give more to you so you find that unlimited place. You know, it's not that you have to give everything away. But it has to come easily without fear. You know, it has to come without fear. Yeah, and be gentle. Because you're being so violent. Just give. Just give. Don't feel obliged to give. Cultivate the muscle of giving because it's natural. You know, Annie and I are like that. We just love giving. It's like crazy. And I'll say to her, I'll say, do you think that's a bit much? And she'll say no. I say, okay. And it's like that. Because it's very natural for us. And you just have to get to that point where you don't even think. And it's a great point to be in. And the interesting thing is when you start giving, it just manifests everywhere. It comes from everywhere. But you don't do it for that reason. That's just a consequence. That's a consequence. Hola. There is something I'm afraid of. Is that I see when you tell your own experience of the hard things you went through and how much you lost, death, family and stuff. You transform all that, no? And you put examples. Martin Luther King, Madre Teresa, Mandela, and it's people that suffer a lot and knew how to transform that. And seems that it goes proportional, the external suffering as a need for an internal growth. Is necessary that? I hope not.
Espero que no.
That's an idea.
No, eso es una idea.
You know, we suffer.
Sufrimos.
Things happen.
Las cosas suceden.
Often things that are out of our control.
Y a menudo suceden cosas que están fuera de nuestro control.
And the thing is, we start to look for something more permanent.
Pero la cosa es que es ahí que empezamos a buscar cosas más permanentes.
We start to try to create ourselves more evolved.
Empezamos a tratar de crearnos más evolucionados.
Well, you look at Nelson Mandela.
Mirando a Nelson Mandela.
He's a classic example.
Él es un ejemplo clásico.
He had a cause.
Él tenía una causa.
He was fighting for
Él
something.
peleaba por algo.
But he wasn't just fighting.
Pero no solo estaba peleando.
He had a phenomenal
Él tenía una
consciousness
conciencia fenomenal.
that was open to the world.
Estaba abierto al mundo.
Not just the fact that he wanted to destroy apartheid and all of
No
that.
solo el hecho de que quería destruir el apartheid y todo eso.
It wasn't important.
Eso no era importante.
It was important,
Lo más importante
but
era
his humanity was more important.
su humanidad era mucho más importante.
And
que
who
la
he
causa.
was
Y
being.
quién él estaba siendo.
It's like he said, when he left
Es
jail,
como dijo cuando se fue de la cárcel.
if I was resented,
Si yo estuviera resentido,
I'd still be in jail.
aún seguiría estando en la cárcel.
You know? And this is what you're looking for.
Y eso es lo que buscan.
It's not consequential of the suffering.
Pero no va a proporcionar el sufrimiento.
It's
no,
the higher
sino
choice in every
es
moment.
en cada momento la elección más elevada que tomemos.
And you can have that focus without
Y
suffering.
uno puede tener ese foco sin sufrir nada.
You know, with Mother Teresa,
Con Madre Teresa.
she was always hitting against conflict.
Ella siempre estaba contra conflictos.
She was a
chocándose con
Catholic in a
conflictos.
Hindu country.
Era una católica en un mundo hindú.
And she was running
Y
around
andaba por ahí
saving people,
salvando a la gente.
but there was still resistance.
Pero había resistencia.
Because
se
of her
enfrentaba a
faith.
resistencias por su fe.
But she trusted so
Pero
much
ella confiaba
in
tanto
God,
en Dios,
in giving,
en el dar,
that she went beyond all of
que
that.
ella superó y fue más
And
allá
now
de
she's
todo
a
eso.
national
Y
hero.
ahora es una héroe nacional.
They
una
don't care if
santa.
she's Hindu,
No le
Buddhist,
importa
whatever.
hindú, budista o lo que
She's a
fuere.
saint.
Ella es una santa.
And it's not equated to the suffering.
Pero no es que se equivale a la proporción de sufrimiento,
It's the focus.
sino por el foco que tenía.
You look at Buddha.
Fíjate, Buda
He left the kingdom.
dejó su reino,
He went through everything
atravesó todo
illusionary,
lo ilusorio,
tortured his body,
torturó su cuerpo
and then he enlightened.
y se iluminó.
But did he suffer?
Pero sufrió,
He embraced his human
él
experience.
abrazó su experiencia humana,
He tortured himself,
se autotorturó,
and then he changed.
pero después cambió.
And that was in 6 years.
Y eso fue en 6 años que lo hizo.
You know, there's always this focus for change.
O sea, siempre está en eso el foco por el cambio.
It's not that you need to go through something huge.
No es que necesitas atravesar algo pero enorme.
You know, I went through a lot
Yo sí atravesé mucho,
because I was ready for it.
estaba lista para
I
eso.
could embrace anything
Yo podía abrazar
and
lo que fuera
transform
y
it
transformarlo,
because I had the capacity to transform.
porque tenía la capacidad para transformar.
But most people have that capacity
Pero la mayor parte de las personas tienen esa capacidad.
if they want. It's a
Si lo quieren,
choice.
si lo quieren, es una elección.
Because things happen to everyone.
Porque cosas no suceden a todos.
People die,
Personas mueren,
people kill
personas
themselves,
se matan,
there's natural
hay
disasters,
desastres naturales,
economies collapse,
economías colapsan,
we get sick,
nos enfermamos,
we have
tenemos
accidents,
accidentes,
all sorts of things happen.
todo tipo de cosas suceden todo el tiempo.
And at some
Y
level,
en algún nivel,
if you use them for your
si
evolution,
uno las usa para su evolución,
they're gifts.
entonces son regalos.
If you don't,
Si no,
they're tools of suffering.
son herramientas de sufrimiento.
And this is the idea you have to make.
Y esta es la idea que tienes que armar.
This is the choice you have to
Esa es la
have.
elección que tienes que tener.
Anyone can do it.
Cualquiera lo puede hacer.
None of those people I talk about are special.
Ninguno de esas personas de las que yo hablo son especiales.
They're extraordinary,
Son extraordinarios,
but they're normal.
pero son normales.
They're normal
Son
people.
gente normal.
You look at them.
Dale con una mirada.
Look at Mother Teresa.
Mira a Madre Teresa.
Little thing.
Una cosita chiquitita.
Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela,
Buddha.
Buda,
Jesus.
Jesús.
Poor old Jesus.
Pobrecito Jesús,
Ah,
que me lo colgaron.
yeah. Choose.
Es elegir,
Choose.
no es elegir.
Hola Isha. Ani.
Hola.
Isha, quería que nos hablaras
Isha, can you talk
cuando uno hace algo con mucho amor,
about
dedicación,
when you
haciéndolo,
do something with love, with dedication, feeling happy doing that?
¿cómo esa delgada línea que
That thin line that separates the enjoyment and the giving self in that, to identify with that
cuando te va mal, sentir que el fracaso es de uno,
as if
cuando te va muy bien, que
as if one goes wrong is your own failure or goes good is your own success. I was like in between that.
Because you have to define yourself as being the unconditional love.
Y porque te tienes que definir siendo tú el amor incondicional.
And you're not defining yourself as that.
Y tú no te estás definiendo como eso.
You're defining yourself through your
Tú te
successes.
estás definiendo a través de tus éxitos.
And it's always going to be dual.
Y eso siempre va a ser dual.
The universe is created like that.
El universo está creado así.
You win,
Ganas.
you lose.
Pierdes.
You're on top of the world,
Estás en el tope del mundo.
something happens.
Algo sucede.
It's always in
Y es así,
duality.
siempre en dualidad.
You have to define yourself
Tienes que definirte
with that central point of stability
con ese central punto de estabilidad
that's based in unconditional
que está
love.
basado en el amor incondicional.
And how you confront each
Y en
situation.
el cómo tú vas a confrontar cada situación.
You know, it's not just that if you give,
No es el tema de
and you're a good person,
das y sos una buena
and
persona.
you're going to be happy forever,
Entonces vas a estar feliz por
you know,
siempre.
and Jesus is going to give you a gold star.
Y Jesús te va a dar una estrella dorada.
No, it's not like
No
that.
es así.
Life will always be
La
challenging you.
vida siempre te va a estar desafiando.
It's always going to be pushing you to be more.
Siempre te va a estar empujando a hacer más.
And it's in that
Y es
moment
justamente en ese
that
momento
defines you.
que te define.
Not necessarily because you're winning.
No necesariamente por el hecho de que estés ganando.
So you're focused in the wrong point.
Así que estás enfocando en el punto equivocado.
You need to expand more this.
Necesitas expandir más esto.
Quiero preguntarte cómo puedo ayudar a ser querido con una adicción.
I want to ask you, how can I help a loving one that he has an addiction to alcohol, besides giving my unconditional love? What else can I do?
You know, there's nothing you can do
No hay nada más que puedas hacer.
but love him
Más que
unconditionally.
amarlo incondicionalmente.
You know, he has to get to a point
Él tiene que llegar a un punto
where he wants help.
en el que quiera ayuda.
You know, some people have to hit rock bottom
Algunas personas tienen que tocar fuerte el fondo
before they change.
antes de decidir
But until
cambiar.
they decide to change,
Pero hasta que ellos mismos no deciden cambiar,
you can't do anything.
no puedes hacer nada.
This is the pain of being a mother.
Ese es el dolor de ser una madre.
You can't make them grow up.
No puedes hacer que crezcan.
They have to decide when they're going to grow up.
Ellos son los que tienen que decidir cuándo van a crecer.
And life will keep pushing, pushing,
Y la
pushing.
vida los va a seguir empujando.
And they'll
empujando.
get to the precipice
Y van a llegar al borde del precipicio
and they'll go,
y van a ir,
oh shit, I need to change.
necesito cambiar.
And that's when he'll come and say, Mommy,
Y es ahí cuando se te va a acercar y te va a decir, ma,
I need help.
necesito ayuda.
And then you have all the tools in the
Y
world.
después vas a tener todas las herramientas del mundo para
But in this
entrenarle.
moment you don't.
Pero en este momento no.
You need to let go.
Necesitas tú soltar.
And that's part of your growth.
Eso es parte de tu crecimiento.
That's part of your love.
Eso es parte de tu
That's
amor.
part of your faith.
Eso es parte de tu fe.
And that
Y eso
defines your
define
consciousness.
tu conciencia.
How old is he now?
¿Qué edad tienes ya?
Oh.
40.
Well, you know, you've had this problem for a long
Este
time.
problema lleva tiempo.
Ever since I've known you, this problem's been there.
Desde que te conozco, ese problema está ahí.
You have to let go.
Tienes que soltar.
You can't. Something will happen.
Algún día va a suceder.
Something will happen.
Algo va a suceder.
And you'll
Y él
change.
va a cambiar.
He will.
Él va a cambiar.
Something will happen.
Algo va a suceder y va a
Okay,
cambiar.
that's enough.
Va a decir, bueno, llegué hasta aquí,
Now I have to
suficiente.
fix this.
Ahora necesito arreglarlo. ¿Sí?
Hola Isha,
Hola.
primero agradecido de poder estar aquí
First, to give thanks to be here.
y por una serie de complicaciones que tuvimos.
We had several
¿Y
complications.
cómo manejas el tema
And how you can handle
de un ser querido que se te muere?
somebody that dies, no? A loved one that dies. Till
¿Cuánto tiempo es lo que tiene que llorar?
how long is that you have to cry?
Until you don't cry anymore.
Hasta que pare el llanto.
Yeah.
Solo hasta que pare el llanto.
It's a process.
Es un proceso
You have
largo.
to feel everything
Tienes que sentir todo
with the intention of letting
con
go.
la intención de soltarlo.
And you
de
know, you might
dejarlo ir.
cry for a month.
Tal vez llores por un mes.
And then in 6 months something will happen and it'll come up
Y
again.
después dentro de 6 meses algo sucede que lo provoca de nuevo
And
y
in 2
empiezas de
years you'll feel
nuevo
it again.
y en 2 años de pronto lo sientes de nuevo y
But the
empiezas,
suffering will leave.
pero se va a ir yendo el sufrimiento
But
de
you
la
have to feel
pérdida.
everything.
Pero se tiene que aprender a sentir todo.
You have to feel
Hay que
everything.
sentir todo.
That's all you can
Es
do.
lo único que se puede hacer.
With the intention of letting
Con
go.
la intención de dejarlo ir.
Not with the intention of holding
No
on.
con la intención de aferrarse.
Just to feel.
Solo sentir.
It's a process.
Es un proceso.
I had a question about the movie that we saw about the 6 months. And one of the most powerful moments was when the difference between the guy who moved you, where you were it prompted tears, and then the woman afterwards that you called out for faking it, and she was crying and she laughed afterwards. I've done that. You know, I've been called out. So how do you better understand the difference within you when that is happening?
But that's my job.
Pero bueno, ese es mi trabajo.
You know, sometimes I'm really sweet.
A veces yo soy muy dulce.
And sometimes I'm very hard.
Y otras veces
because
soy muy dura.
I'm teaching people to be real.
Porque yo enseño a las personas a ser reales.
And to love themselves.
Y amarse a sí mismos.
Exactly as they are.
Exactamente como
without
son.
all their images
Sin
and pretenses and looking for attention, giving that attention to themselves.
Sino que darse esa atención a sí mismos.
And yeah, I'm hard.
Y sí soy dura.
But it works.
Pero funciona.
Yeah. I'm a bit like Kali, you know, I chop off heads.
Soy un poquito como Kali, ¿no? La diosa Kali que corta cabezas.
Yeah, you understand that.
¿Te entiendes eso, no?
I can't chop out the ignorance.
Yo corto la ignorancia.
Yeah, and she left great.
Cuando ella se fue fantástica.
And she's come back. And she grew a lot.
Creció muchísimo.
But that's my job.
Pero ese es mi trabajo.
Because I don't have violence.
Porque yo no tengo violencia.
I see with pure compassion.
Con compasión pura.
And sometimes
y a veces
love's ferocious.
El amor is fierce.
It's like a surgeon's knife. It just cuts away what's not real.
Que corta lo que no es real.
And that's my specialty.
Y esa es mi especialidad.
I see everything.
Yo veo todo.
If it was a new baby, I wouldn't have done that.
Si fuera un estudiante bebé nuevo, no hubiera hecho eso.
No, it'd be too much.
Hubiera sido demasiado eso.
But for someone in the middle of the process,
Pero para alguien en el medio de su proceso,
that came for that
que
reason,
vino justamente por esa razón,
I give everything.
le doy todo.
Whereas if it was a baby student, I'd just listen.
Que si fuera un estudiante bebé, me quedaría escuchándole.
Yeah, and they'd go on and on and on and on and on
y
and on and on.
hablaría.
And I wouldn't say anything.
Y no le hubiera dicho nada.
Another thing's timing, no?
Otra cosa son los tiempos, ¿no? De cada
Knowing
uno.
when to push
Sabiendo cuándo empujar.
and when to pull back.
Y cuándo no.
And that's an art form too.
Y eso también es un arte.
I feel
Yo siento.
to be on spot.
Puede estar justo ahí en el punto que es necesario.
But I think it was pretty clear afterwards how she started laughing.
Me parece bastante claro, ¿no? Cómo empezó a reírse.
But I know it will affect people.
Pero sabía que iba a afectar de alguna manera.
Of all the movie, that will affect people.
De toda la película eso iba a afectar.
And even my editor wanted to take it out.
Incluso mi editor lo quería sacar.
And I said, well, my teachers and I said no.
Nacho y yo dijimos no.
We said no. Leave it.
Es una joya. Déjalo.
Yo estoy tratando de trabajar la culpa.
I'm trying to work with the guilt. And I could like if you can support me or tell me something about this. My older son died 15 years ago in an accident in the beach. And I feel still that I should do something about that. Maybe not giving the permission to go or something. And I still feel that.
No, you've got to let this go. How violent you are. 15 years later. Okay, you're going to leave it here. Because it's not true. It's not true. There's nothing you can do. It happened, and it happened. And it's not your fault. You've got to let it. How old was he?
17.
Not anything to do with you. You can't even give him permission. He's 17 years old. Come on, you've got to stop. It's just horrible. How do you think he'd feel if he knew you were doing this? He'd be horrified that his mum's torturing herself. No. You've got to leave it here. Finish now. Because on some level, this is how you're holding on to him. Through your guilt. And you have to let him go. And then you'll find him here and he'll only be love. Only love. Yeah, and that's how it should be. That's how it has to be. Yeah. Good.
Hola Isha y Ani.
Hello.
Yo estuve pasando muchos meses
I have been
acompañando a mi papá.
many months with my father, supporting my sick
Y había
father.
que estaba por morir,
Some days he was going to die, then he
y esa
passed.
sensación de miedo,
And that
esa
sensation of
como de
fear,
alerta
sensation
permanente,
of permanent alert.
a pesar de que él falleció,
Even if
ya
he
fue
died and it
muchísimo,
was beautiful,
un tiempo de muchísimo
it was a
amor,
time of a lot of
acompañar a
love.
muerte fue una experiencia
To really,
fantástica
to be
para
with
mí,
him in his
para toda mi
death was
familia.
beautiful for the whole family.
Siento como
Even like that, I
esa
feel
sensación de alerta, como
the
un miedo
sensation of
permanente.
alert, of fear, permanent
Inclusive me
fear,
afecta a la respiración
that affects my
ahora.
breath, even till now.
Realmente no estoy como
And I put fast, but it doesn't go away.
It will.
Ya se va a ir,
It's still part of the
pero
process.
todavía es parte de tu proceso de duelo.
And it's like that, you
Es
know,
así.
when you know they're going to die, it's like this.
Tú sabes que van a
You're waiting
morir.
for that moment.
Es esto, uno está esperando ese momento.
And you just need to let it go.
Y necesitas soltar eso.
Let it go.
Déjalo
It
ir.
will start to go now.
Va a empezar a irse
In
ahora.
this 6 weeks it will leave.
Durante estas 6 semanas se va a ir.
And there's still the attachment
Y
there.
además todavía
Like
está
it's
el
your
apego ahí,
responsibility.
como que es tu responsabilidad.
I remember when I used to travel with my
Yo
mother,
recuerdo cuando yo viajaba con mamá,
she used to fall over
ella solía caerse
in the most ridiculous
en las
situations.
situaciones más ridículas.
And I used to have that too.
Y
a
yo
little bit
sentía
like,
eso también.
like that alert all
Estaba
the
ese
time.
alerta todo el tiempo,
Like waiting for something to happen.
esperando que algo sucediera.
I remember she fell over on an airplane once
Me acuerdo una vez se cayó en un avión
and they yell at
y
me,
me gritaron a
"Lily,
mí,
you let your mother fall." I was like, wasn't my fault.
no fue culpa mía.
And you've got that anxiety, no?
Uno va
That something's
teniendo
going to hurt them.
esa ansiedad como que algo se va a lastimar de alguna manera.
And even, you know, it's gone, but the feeling's still there.
Ya no esté, el sentir queda ahí,
Just let it go
solo deja ir
and see what it is.
y ver qué es,
It's called attachment.
qué se llama apego.
Hola Isha, hola Ani.
Hola.
Soy médica especialista en enfermedades infecciosas
Doctor, specialist in infection diseases.
y muchas veces me pasa
Many times happens
que cuando tengo que dar noticias
that when I have
feas
to give the heavy news
a mis pacientes,
to my patients,
porque trabajo en una maternidad
because I work in a maternity,
y entonces
in a
esto
nursery.
involucra no solo a la paciente,
This
sino a la
involves the
pareja,
patient, the couple, the child that is coming.
me saca de mi foco decirles,
Takes away from my focus to have to tell them.
no puedo evitar
And I cannot avoid
juzgar a veces
to
la
judge
situación
sometimes the situation
o sentirlos pobrecitos
or to feel like poor them
o como decir no saber cómo
or not to know how,
contener a veces, ¿no? A pesar que tengo
sometimes how to support them, no?
muchos años de profesión,
Even if I'm a professional of many years, but still annoys me.
también
And also,
intento enfocarme, por ejemplo, si ya sé que va a venir un paciente que tiene ese problema,
I try to focus. If it's coming a patient with that problem, I try to be centered.
pero me cuesta.
But it's hard.
You know, it's normal that you're going to feel sorry for them.
Normal que vas a sentir como esta pena por ellos.
Obvio.
Por supuesto.
You know, it's a big thing.
Es algo muy grande.
But you have to just have compassion.
Pero tienes que tener simplemente compasión.
And be anchored in
Estar
consciousness.
anclado en la conciencia.
You're like identifying with the problem.
Porque ahí es como que te estás identificando con el problema.
Like you
que
should
tienes.
have a solution.
Como si tú tuvieras que tener una solución.
You're
para
making it
ellos.
about you.
Y entonces es como que lo transformas como que
It's
es
a
un tema
professional
tuyo,
thing.
una cosa profesional.
But it's out of your hands.
Pero esto está fuera de tus
So you
manos.
have to anchor in that unconditional
Así
love.
que tienes que anclarte en ese amor incondicional en ti.
Like even when you talk about it,
Incluso cuando hablas de
you have
esto,
this aspect of guilt.
tienes un aspecto de culpa en ti.
Like I should be able to fix it.
Como yo tendría que poder arreglar eso.
And many things are out of your
Y muchas
hands.
cosas no están en tus manos.
Many things are out of all of our
Muchas
hands.
cosas están fuera de nuestras manos.
And you have to have the
Y
humility
tienes que tener la
and the
humildad
compassion
y la compasión
just to sit in consciousness
de solo quedarte instalada en tu conciencia.
and do it from a very loving
Y
place.
hacer eso, entregar eso desde un lugar sumamente amoroso.
And it's nice that you're like that.
Y es lindísimo. que
Because
seas
how many
así.
doctors are so
Porque
disconnected
cuántos médicos están tan desconectados.
because they don't want to be
Porque
affected?
no quieren ser afectados.
At least
por
you
esas
have the
cosas.
capacity to communicate
Al menos tú tienes la capacidad de comunicar
that love,
ese amor
their loss,
a su pérdida o a su
you know,
problema.
like you have a sensitivity.
Tienes una sensibilidad ahí.
And I think that's so important.
Creo que eso es súper importante.
There can't be that. And it's good that you're telling them.
Y buenísimo que seas tú quien les dice.
It's good that it's you.
Sería buenísimo que seas tú así.
Mm?
Hola,
Hi,
hablaban del tema.
you
comentaste sobre el
were
tema de
talking and you answered
alcoholismo, de
about
que en algún momento
alcoholism that at some point
es un tema de
will happen.
maduración o de crecimiento.
That is a matter of growth or maturity.
Yo te cuento de que no siempre es así.
Not
Vos sabés
always
que
is
no
like
siempre
that.
es así.
You know, it's not always like
Mi
that.
marido murió
My
de
husband
alcoholismo.
died out of his alcoholism,
Y supongo que fue por
and I
más
suppose it
sufrimiento de
was
su vida.
for so much suffering in his life,
Quiso crecer.
or because he didn't want to grow, I don't
Pero
know.
también es cierto que yo
But
me aferré
also,
mucho a
it's true
cuidarlo.
that I attached to take care of him.
Sentí un tirón muy
And
fuerte
just I
acá,
felt a pull in my neck,
porque mi hijo me decía,
because
"Mamá,
my
hace
son
20
was
años
saying,
me estás matando".
Mom, it's 20 years that you are killing him, because every fall, all the responses I just had, and I have a pull in my neck. So
Algunas veces no se puede, creo, ¿no?
sometimes you cannot,
Alguna persona así durante 40 años.
with a person like this for 40 years, to hold, to sustain, to... Is this
You
wrong?
you let go.
Tienes que soltar.
And you didn't.
Y no soltaste en ese momento.
Now you've let go.
Ahora estás soltando.
It's okay.
Y está bien.
You know, the thing that happens
Lo que sucede
when people have addictions,
es cuando las personas tienen adicción.
people that are apparently normal
Aquellos que aparentemente son normales a su lado,
get addicted to saving them.
se tornan adictos a salvarlos a ellos.
There's always these two things.
Están las dos cosas siempre.
And wanting to fix them
Y el queriendo arreglar a los
because they see them as victims.
porque los ven como víctimas.
And on some
Y
level,
en algún nivel,
the addict likes that.
al adicto le gusta
It
eso.
likes to feel
Le
impotent.
gusta sentirse
It
impotente.
likes to be saved.
Le gusta ser
It
salvado.
likes to be the center of
Le gusta ser
attention.
el centro de atención.
But if you pull away the
Pero
attention,
vas a ver que si tú alejas la atención de eso,
they either look for it somewhere else
la buscan en algún otro
or
lugar,
they start to
o
change.
empiezan ellos mismos a cambiar.
You know, I used to always have partners with problems.
Yo solía siempre tener parejas con problemas.
I used to look for them, I think. I think I had a list, a dysfunctional list.
Yo creo que tenía la lista disfuncional que
You know,
tenía que
I've been to
chequear.
AA meetings, drug meetings,
He
God knows.
estado en meetings de alcohólicos anónimos, de adictos anónimos.
You know,
todos,
I never had any of the
familiares.
problems
Yo no tenía los problemas
to that
a
extreme.
ese extremo.
You know, but I was always trying to help someone.
Pero siempre trataba de salvar a alguien con ese problema.
And I remember I spoke to someone
Y me acuerdo que hablé con
and they said,
alguien
"Who do you think you
y
are?"
me dice, ¿quién te
Like
piensas que
Mother
eres?
Earth?
La Madre Tierra.
And I said, "Why,
Y
why,
dije,
why,
¿por qué?
why?"
¿Por qué? ¿Por
They
qué?
said, "There's only so much you can do."
Me dice, porque solo puedes hacer hasta
And then you have
cierto
to let
punto.
go.
Y después tú tienes que soltar.
You've got to let go.
Tú tienes que soltar.
And I learned that when I was young
Y yo aprendí eso cuando era joven.
because I had problematic
Porque
partners.
tenía parejas problemáticas.
Oh. But you didn't learn.
Pero tú no aprendiste.
But now you know.
Pero ahora ya sabes.
Yeah?
Sí.
Patricia?
Sí,
Let go.
dice, soltar, soltar,
Let go.
soltar.
There's nothing you can do.
Porque no hay nada que puedas hacer.
They have to decide to change.
Ellos mismos tienen que decidir cambiar.
Hi.
Ahora me siento en ese lugar
I feel in that place
entre
in between.
quiero confiar,
I want to try to trust
que voy a encontrar lo que realmente quiero hacer.
that I'm going to find what I really want to do,
Y esa voz
and
mi
that
cabeza
voice in my head
y la voz de mi mamá
and the voice of my mom together
que me dicen que es totalmente irresponsable.
saying that daddy is irresponsible, totally.
Saber,
Or the fact of not knowing that I have to find a job, etc., etc.
quiero saber si puedes hablar
And I want to know if you can talk about that,
esa dualidad entre
that duality in between. I want to trust
ser responsable.
and to be responsible.
You know, the thing is, you can move into action.
La cosa es que te puedes poner en acción
Anything.
cualquier cosa.
It doesn't matter what you're
No
doing.
importa qué estés haciendo.
It's what you're being in each
El tema es lo
moment.
que estás haciendo tú en cada momento.
You know, if you're just sitting there in lotus position
Si
waiting
estás-
for the universe to send you the perfect job,
Si estás sentada en posición
maybe
de
it won't
esperando
happen.
que el universo te mande el trabajo perfecto, tal vez no va a suceder.
you know, you need to try
Tú
things.
necesitas intentar cosas.
But the thing is, you need to be
Pero
here.
la cosa es que tú necesitas estar en ti.
It's
en
what
tu
you're
corazón.
being that's
Lo que
important.
es importante es lo que estás tú siendo.
And
lo
what
que
you're
eres
giving.
Y lo que estás dando.
You should be able to enjoy anything.
Tendrías que poder disfrutar todo. lo
It's
que
not
sea.
that the precise job is going to make you
Porque
happy.
no es que un trabajo preciso, lo que quieras hacer preciso, te
If
va a
you're
hacer
not
feliz.
happy.
Si tú no estás feliz.
I always did things I was passionate
Yo
about.
siempre hice cosas por las que estaba apasionada.
Very passionate
Súper
about.
apasionada con ellas.
But it didn't mean I was completely happy.
Pero no significaba que yo estaba completamente feliz.
So just move into
Así que
action.
ponte en acción.
Do something.
Haz algo.
Enjoy something.
Disfruta algo.
Start giving.
Empieza a dar.
That's
Eso es
responsibility.
responsabilidad.
That's
Eso es
responsibility.
responsabilidad.
Yeah. So on some level,
Así que en algún nivel,
as always,
como siempre,
mummy's right.
mami tiene razón.
Mummies are always right in the end,
Las
unfortunately.
mamis al final siempre tienen razón, desafortunadamente.
Yeah, but just do something.
Pero haz algo.
But you're afraid.
Pero estás asustada tú.
You're
Estás
afraid
asustada
that you're going to get hooked into something you don't
de que
like,
te vas a quedar enganchada en algo que no quieres,
that you're going to
de que vas a
compromise,
estar
that you're going to
transitiendo,
fall into the
de que
system,
vas a caer en el sistema,
that
que
you're going to
vas a
end up like your
pegar,
mother.
y que vas a terminar siendo como tu mamá.
What does your mother do?
¿Qué hace tu mamá?
She has a travel agency.
Ah, there
Una
you go.
agencia de viajes.
Okay,
Muy bien.
great. Why don't you work for mummy?
¿Y por qué no trabajas
And go
para
and
mamá?
check out all the places.
Y vas tú a chequear los lugares para promover.
Maybe that's what you're doing.
Por ahí es lo que estás haciendo ya, así que
Yeah,
te
yeah,
paguen.
yeah, yeah. You should say, I am working.
Tendrías que decir, yo estoy trabajando.
I'm working for you.
Trabajando contigo.
Just trust.
Solo confía.
And you know, there's something very empowering about moving into action.
Y hay algo que es muy empoderante del hecho de ponerse en acción.
Especially now you have consciousness,
Especialmente
no?
ahora que tienes
It's not that
conciencia.
you're moving into action from an immature
No es
place.
que te pones en acción desde un lugar inmaduro.
You're moving into
Te
action
pones en acción
with
con
consciousness.
conciencia.
And that's a great gift for the people that you're touching.
Y eso es un regalo enorme para aquellas personas a quienes tocas.
Just go out and give.
Sal a dar.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm finished
Creo que
now.
ya
Am I?
terminamos.
Oh no, there's one more.
No, una más. Por aquí, por aquí.
Oh my God, it's late.
Ay, Dios.
I talk too much.
Hablo
you know.
demasiado,
I
me
talk too
parece.
much.
Hablo demasiado. Hola.
Yeah.
Hola.
Hi, hi. Can you talk about the trust in self? Because happens that since I'm in the system, I desire things before that they were related with external, that I can see today about that. And that those things, they don't have any much, no more force anymore. And after the movie, and we had that meeting upstairs with the people that we want to do 6 months, and there was the 6-monthers, and all the facilitators talking about their experience. I felt
algo común en
something,
ellos,
something common that they all had,
independiente de su
independently
vida,
of
que eran
their
muy
lives
distintas,
that
pero
were very
tienen
different.
ese común
They all have that
de confianza en
common
ellos mismos
trust
que
in
es
themselves.
como una admiración.
That is an admiration I feel.
Y yo siento un
And
poco
I
que,
feel,
como que siento que
I
puedo tener
feel
un poco esa confianza, pero
I can have a little bit
no sé
of
si
that
es
trust,
realmente esa confianza.
but I don't know if
Tengo un
it's
poco
that
de dudas
trust.
con respecto
I have
a
doubts about
confiar
trusting,
en los
I'm just
deseos.
in the 6 months.
pero no estás por hacer los 6 meses. No lo hiciste todavía.
No, tengo planeado cómo
I
pagar
plan
todo,
how to pay and all that. It's all ready.
dentro de mí siento un
But
miedo
within I
a
feel
que no
fear
resulte.
not to be happening like that.
Eso que siento que es mi único deseo.
That I
Es my only
Okay, so we've just listened to all of this blah, 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 Claro,
Ah,
entonces
pues,
acabamos de
ah,
escuchar todo bla bla bla. And I don't even understand what you
Eh.
said,
Y ni siquiera entendí lo que dijiste.
because it was all from your head.
Porque todo venía de la cabeza.
You were doing the 6 months,
Tú vas a hacer los 6 meses
so you stabilize perpetual consciousness.
para estabilizar tu conciencia
And
perpetua.
from that place of perpetual
Desde ese
consciousness,
lugar de conciencia perpetua,
you will be ready
vas a estar lista
to move forward in your life,
para avanzar en tu vida,
to make new decisions,
para tomar nuevas
to
decisiones,
trust in
para
yourself.
confiar en ti.
And this is the whole essence of this process,
Y esa es la esencia completa de este proceso.
to stabilize
Estabilizar
internal security.
seguridad interior.
Everyone comes insecure,
Todos llegan inseguros,
confused,
confundidos,
not knowing what to do with their
sin saber
lives,
qué hacer con sus vidas,
wanting something more,
queriendo algo más,
not knowing what to do for their
sin
careers,
saber qué hacer profesionalmente,
or now that they're
o
retired,
ahora que se han retirado
or
ya,
because the husband left,
o porque el marido
or because
se fue,
something
o
happened.
porque algo sucedió.
Everyone comes
Todos llegan
looking for internal security,
buscando seguridad interior.
and that's what it's for.
Y para eso es.
So that's why you're doing it.
Entonces por eso lo vas a hacer.
And of course it's going to happen.
Y por supuesto que va a suceder.
Why won't it happen?
¿Por qué no va a suceder?
Siento
I don't know, because I
todas las
feel
cosas que he deseado alguna vez no se han cumplido.
all the things I desire in my life didn't happen.
Y
I guess to let that thought go
Deja ir ese pensamiento.
and go and move the stress.
Y anda a mover el estrés que eso
Because it's just a stress.
Porque es solamente un estrés.
You can stay here if you want
Te puedes quedar acá si quieres.
until we come.
Hasta que volvamos.
Gracias.
Gracias.